So I got to ask you a little bit about your career because you have such a robust career. And you were in one of my favorite films of all time, Dead Presidents. I love that movie. I just think it's classic. How it connected with the Vietnam War and so on. What are you and your performance in that movie was crazy. It was incredible. What are your
Thank
memories of Dead Presidents back in 1995?
Well, many stories I could tell you, man. I would tell you that the camaraderie we experienced making that film as young men um, is unparalleled. Um, to this day, if any of us see each other, it's like we just made it. Um, it was extremely challenging for a whole myriad of reasons. Um, you know, we were so young. I was thinking about this the other day. It's so funny you mentioned this, but I was just thinking about this. I didn't really think about it at the time, but looking back, we were all about 21 years old when we made that film.
Wow.
And I think about it now at 49, and I just it just blows my mind that we were able to do that. And the Hughes brothers were fantastic leaders, even though they were only about 22. And I don't know why that just sticks with me. It's like such an interesting component of the fact that we were able to bring that film in on time, on budget. There were a lot of crazy things that happened while we were making that picture. Um, uh, you know, and it's really a miracle to some extent that we were able to pull it off. I have such fond memories of making that film. It has a very special place in my heart and my mind. I'm very proud of what we did, and I just think it was a very special film.
Yeah, it was incredible. So this was also the era of, these amazing, brilliant music videos. And you were in TLC's Waterfalls video, which I recorded. I recorded and I would watch it over and over on my VHS back in the day. That video was groundbreaking. It was incredible. What are your memories of being in TLC's Waterfalls?
I just remember being mad that they weren't there. Oh no, I was a younger dude back then, and I just remember calling my agent and be like, "Yo, where are they?" I was just upset that they weren't there. But no, it was a really good time, um, and when I saw the final product, I was just really blown away about what had been done, because at that time when that video was made, it really was kind of a new thing, like to put that amount of effects and almost like a cinematic quality into a music video. People had just kind of started doing that, and I had no idea it was going to turn out the way it did. It just blew me away, like the special effects and the storytelling aspect and everything. I was so impressed. I was so impressed. I didn't know it was going to turn out like that. And then the song was, of course, a huge hit, and it was like a nice feather in my cap, you know.
What back then when you get approached to be in a music video, of course you're in Tupac's video as well. Are you are you you know you have some big films that are out. Are you excited to be in a music video, or are you kind of like, I don't know if I want to do music videos? Back then, what was your process when you were getting approached to be in music videos?
It had to do with the song, and it had to do
Mm,
with the artist. If the song was tight and the artist was like, of a caliber that made me feel like it wouldn't be taking a step backwards, then it was really an honor, to be honest with you, at that time, to be asked to participate in the video, because it's not like a film that you're pursuing. You had to be asked to get
mm.
down, basically. And if you got asked, I got asked a lot, but I usually said no. But there were a few times, this is one of those examples of when I was like, wow, yes, yeah, TLC, sign me up. Yeah, so that was one of those times when I just jumped at the opportunity. Yeah.
Wait, I got to ask you, what's a couple music videos you turned down? I'm just curious now.
I don't think I want to get into that, my brother, because these artists are still doing their thing.
Right,
I'm
right, right.
gonna leave that question alone.
No, no, no. I hear you. You're a busy man. You work. You can't take everything that comes to you.
That's right.
Uh, so we look at the beginning of your career, blowing up in Jason's Lyric, and now, of course, with the Inspection again. It's out November 18th. How do you feel like the industry has evolved? What are some of the good ways that it's evolved, and what are some of the rough ways that it's evolved, the bad ways, if I could say?
I think some of the negatives are that um, sometimes we find that the powers that be are sacrificing substance
Mm,
for profit. I mean, it's always been like that to a degree, but um, I hate to see it in quote unquote black cinema and black Hollywood. Um, uh, Sometimes we're just manufacturing these products that are not necessarily um, substantial. Because we have such a wide audience now, not just amongst Black American people, but everybody patronizes our stuff. Everybody digs what we do. And so because there's so many avenues to make revenue, we don't always safeguard the quality of the product, if you will. So that I think is a negative. Positively speaking, is almost adversely. Uh, there's so many more opportunities for young, talented, incredibly talented people to emerge who might not have been given a chance. When I first started, um, there was a relatively small group of us, and we all kind of knew each other and partied together, and um, had friendships of varying degrees. And now, it's just grown and grown and grown, and I think it's such a beautiful thing, and it's so wonderful to see how many people uh, have an opportunity to do their thing that otherwise might not have had their opportunity. And I like to think that some of us that were in the '90s were the forerunners of creating these opportunities for people who, ironically, oftentimes might not even know our names. But I think that it's just been an explosion since 2000 of wonderful writing, wonderful acting performances, new directors, all these new stories being told, the explosion of the black rom-com, and all these
mhm.
other things that might not have come to pass are now just the standard. Um, uh, and speaking universally, not just about Black Hollywood, but universally, it's the golden age of television. It's a fantastic time for television. It's some of the best TV ever. So I
Mhm.
think that is just a wonderful thing, especially for me being on location a lot lately, thankfully, and just staying out of trouble, doing what I'm supposed to do. It's wonderful to be able to turn on any one of these streaming services and just get inundated with fantastic television. So I think television is blown up and it's great. And budgets are getting bigger and people are taking more risks as far as um, green lighting projects that otherwise would not have been made back in the day. So hopefully that answers your question.
So I love streaming, but I've heard some actors saying that streaming has really hurt the movie industry. But you're supportive of it even as an actor. You like it.
I'm speaking as a fan of quality streaming But as far as an actor, I still think streaming creates ultimately more opportunities than there would be if it hadn't been so prolific, if it hadn't grown to the extent
Mm,
that it has. Film was going to take this hit no matter what. This is inevitable. And
mm,
it's true. The mid-sized films, if it keeps going like this 20 years from now, maybe even less, they'll be extinct. You won't see any $30 million budget films. You won't see any 40, $50 million budget films. You'll either see the $3 to $10 million film or the 200+ million film. And everything in the
mm.
middle is either going to go straight to a streaming service or just disappear. So that is sad in a way, but I'm cold blooded about this. You can't stop evolution, and
Yeah.
I'm not sentimental like I used to be. It is what it is. There's nothing I can do about it. It is what it is. The powers that be have determined that the middle ground is gonna go, and it's either gonna be the festival fair from $3 to $10 million, or it's gonna be the $200 million plus. Um, the big boys, you know what I mean? So there's not gonna be nothing in the middle, and that it is what it is.